Hello, everybody. Happy Thirsty Thursday and happy National Mutt Day. For all of you dog lovers out there, just cuddle up with your special male or female best friend and enjoy a glass of wine and an hour of music. And with that being said, I hope dog lovers are watching right now because nothing against cats, just dogs are the best. They don't even have to say anything. They just get you and they'll be for forever your friend and there for you. And anyways, today we have someone really cool that I have not met in person yet, but I'm very excited to introduce to you all, and I'm very excited to chat with for the next hour virtually, hopefully get to meet this individual very soon in person. We have got Diana DeMuth today. How are we doing?
What's up? I'm good. How are you?
Great, thank you. And where are you tuned in from today?
Woodstock, New York, upstate New York.
Okay, so you're past the 5 o'clock hour over where you're at.
We're
so
at 7:06.
Yeah, you're like way
wine
into
hour.
the official. It's definitely wine hour. Do you have any wine?
Yeah, I do.
All right.
Drinking a nice light shard. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers. Cheers, Diana. So I'm really excited to talk about all things music with you in just a little bit. But if you're ready, we can just get right into it with the first song and chat a little bit afterwards.
Hell yeah.
All right.
You might have seen me neath the pool lights. Well, baby, I go back each night. If you got a throat, I got a knife. Steady rolling, and I keep going. And I don't mind how quick the seasons change. You know to me that everyone's the same. The sweetest sunshine drips the drain. It's coming and I'm still running. I come from the old time bay. Too late for you to save me. If I remain, then I'm to blame. But if you should ever need me, I'll go wherever you lead me. It's all the same old game. I'm out waltzing with the Holy Ghost, from the Bowery to the Barbary Coast. The land I'm from, you know I love the most. Steady rolling and I keep going, and every day is just another town. The more I search, you know, the less I found. Me, I'm a sucker, just a slave to sound. It's coming and I'm still running. I come from the old time bay. Too late for you to save me. If I remain, then I'm to blame. But if you should ever need me, I'll go wherever you lead me. It's all the same old game. I come from the old time bay, where all the kids are crazy. If I remain, then I'm to blame. But if you should ever need me, I'll go wherever you lead me. It's all the same old game.
Woo-hoo! Thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you. So for everyone tuned in right now, thank you so much for tuning in and joining us for today's Jam Happy Hour. Now we've got Diana DeMuth here, and what you just heard, the first song for today's set, that was the midway point basically in your album release?
Yes. Yeah. That's
Okay.
one of my favorite ones, yeah.
I mean, it's just I feel like it's very dynamic because you can listen to that song and like do yoga and get your like morning workout in, but you can also listen to it if you're super sad or if you're super happy and just trying to like almost calm the jitters of being super happy. So I'm just interested to hear like the backstory behind the creative process for Steady Rolling.
So actually Steady Rolling it's the only cover on the album, and it's a cover of a song by this band called Two Gallants. And my producer who I made and wrote the record with, Simon Felice, kind of like it was one of the last songs we recorded on the album, and we were kind of like writing a bunch and didn't really know how at the time we wanted to finish the album, although it ended up being the midway point. And he was like, I remember this song, this like crazy song from way back, like sometime in the 90s or something. And he was like, we should listen to this song. And my version of this song sounds nothing like the original song, but we really loved like the lyric and the the message behind the song, especially the chorus. And so it initially is kind of this almost like grungy song, and it would not be recognizable to you in terms of what I just did, but we kind of took it and made it our own. And on the record, it's on piano, and that was one of the ones that we did, tracked it completely live, just with me and a piano live in the studio up on this mountain that we record on. It was really beautiful, and it's live one take on the record, and I don't know, I was still like learning the song a little bit and a little shaky on it, but those sometimes end up being the best, like the demos or the song, the version of the song you end up keeping and loving and wanting people to hear.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I think there's something like to say about doing a cover, because it's not ever really just replicating something and singing the exact same way, but with your voice. It's always, I found that artists such as yourself with a cover like that, it's your take and the way as the audience member, I guess, quote unquote, like the way that you perceive that song, the message you take from it, and then the cover is what you put back out from that perception. And I think it's like always so unique, and just, I think it's so cool.
Yeah. It's just, it's always, like some, I think like some people don't put covers on their albums, and I always say like, whatever, I think it's important to, if like you can find a different way to relay a song or the message of the song, or a new way for people to hear it, I think it's actually a very cool thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I was reading one of your past interviews from, I think, last year, either right before or right after you put the album out, and you were saying that one of your biggest fears is snakes.
Mm-hmm. I don't remember saying that, but it's true. Yes, definitely.
Okay, so for me, I don't know what my answer would be to this, but snakes or bugs, which are scarier to you?
Well, I would have said snakes, but I actually last year I was living in a cabin upstate, and when the summer came, there started to appear these types of spiders called wolf spiders.
No.
And they're like the size of a palm, and black and gigantic. And the first, I woke up one morning and I went into my bathroom, and there was one in the bathtub, and it looked and looks to me still alarmingly like a tarantula. And I ended up like seeing about 3 or 4 of those over like a 2-month period. One was in the sink when I went to do my dishes, and that was probably the scariest thing that's ever happened to me. So I was just like running around the cabin crying and freaking out. And I'm not really that type of person, but it was like really kind of, it was a lot. But I would like to, I never killed one of them.
I was just going to ask, how would you even kill, like...
Well, I got on the phone with my mom, and I was like, Mom, like, I'm dying. I'm going to die.
Yeah.
And she was like, it's really bad luck to kill spiders. And I was like, all right, well now, like, I'm so, not that I mean, I didn't know what I was going to do, but I'm so superstitious that I was like, well, now I really can't kill it.
Like, what do? You get a crock pot to take it outside?
I tried with a glass, and the circumference of the glass wasn't big enough. So I had to get a bowl.
That's
And I like FaceTime my friend, and I made her I like set it up across the room, and I was like, listen, this could go south, so you just have to sit here and watch me do this. And I had to do it. Yeah, I did it 3 times, and each time was. So my biggest fear is wolf spiders now.
Oh my God. Man, I'm gonna have Greg remind me. He probably remembers, but I talked to a different musician like a few months ago on one of these jam happy hours, and they were talking about wolf spiders.
Really?
Yes, and they were like staying in at a cabin and like talking about the. Oh, God.
Well, it's affecting all of us then.
I mean, I like freak out if there's like a fruit fly in my vicinity. Because there's something about bugs that I don't know if it's the SpongeBob episode where the butterfly, he's like in Sandy's, not igloo, but the thing underwater that she can breathe in. And, but a butterfly like rolls up on his, like astronaut looking suit, and they like zoomed in on the butterfly, and then ever since then I don't know, it freaked me out. It scarred me.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you are not familiar with that episode, you got to go take a look.
I'm sure I've seen it. I mean, I think like yeah, bugs in general, they can be creepy, but they're also, part of nature and life, so
Yes.
I try to be like,
Yes.
I try to be good about it and accepting, and then if I see a wolf spider, it's game over.
All right, well, remind me if I ever come visit in New York, just remind me to be on guard about the wolf spiders. We don't have them over here on the West Coast.
Oh my God.
Oh
Amazing.
boy. Well, to everyone tuned in today, thank you so much for joining us. It is the second day of December. I can't believe we have entered the last month of 2021. I hope everyone's holiday season is going well. And with that being said, I know a lot of holiday shopping still has got to take place the next 3 weeks. So if you need to stock up on wine for yourself or whoever it may be, we've got links below. And in addition to that, as we approach the new year, I know that Miss Diana here has some cool stuff in store in 2022 for all of you. So you'll want to check out the social media links that we've got. And check all that out. And in the meantime, we've got more music coming your way if you're ready. Ready?
Yeah.
Cool.
This is called Hotel Song.
I just busted out of this hotel, took all of my belongings, and I ran for it. It's crazy living out of this suitcase, running around in the rat race, and I'm tired of it. Don't it feel like yesterday when we were driving wildly down dark streets in the pouring rain? Oh, I'm laid down, lifted up by that story. We want all of the glory and none of the pain. So come on, baby, bust me out of this hotel, gather up my belongings, and let's run for it. Oh, it's crazy living out of this suitcase, running around in the rat race, and I'm done with it. But I'll keep holding on to you. Oh, when all the money's gone, I still belong to you. Oh, baby, bust me out of this hotel. I've done so many wrong things, and I've paid for it. it's crazy living out of this suitcase, running round in the rat race, and I'm tired of it. Come on now, baby, bust me out of this hotel, gather up my belongings, and let's run for it. Oh, it's crazy living out of this suitcase, running round in the rat race, and I'm done with it. But I'll keep holding on to you. Oh, when all the money's gone, I still belong to you now. Oh, so I'm holding on to you. Oh, we'll sing these highway songs with nothing left to lose. Oh, baby, bust me out of this hotel.
Diana DeMuth, everybody. And that was Hotel Song. And that song, I love it because not only is it the intro song for Misadventure, which if you have yet to check it out, you got to do it. You can find it on, I think, pretty much every streaming platform, right?
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere. And so Diana, that song for you, it kind of, it started off as almost feeling like the hopelessness and like the questioning of oneself, but then it actually turned around and did the complete opposite for you with the album. And so like how was that entire roller coaster of a process? Like,
Well, I always say that the album started in London because I was in London when I started writing Hotel Song, which was the first song that I wrote or started to write on the record. London is a place that's very near and dear to my heart, and I was out there trying to figure out what the hell I was doing with my life, and I was sitting in this little shitty hotel, and that, just the I just busted out of this hotel kind of, and then the song went from there, and I think the thesis of the record, or the kind of one of the pillars of it really is like kind of freeing yourself from whatever holds you back in life. And I think that was a time in my life where I was, wanted more, and I didn't know what more was. And I think it took a lot of things coming together. And one of those was, taking these little bits and pieces that I wrote when I was in London back here to New York, where I worked with my producers, Simon and David, on this record, and building the record and building the story of the record. And but yeah, that kind of initial inspiration for Hotel was I was in kind of a weird spot, and it did end up being like something that changed my life.
yes. And I mean, I've got to shout you out because like for me and so many people during the pandemic especially, it's like putting yourself out there and reflecting not only the way we all do at the end of the night. You're trying to go to bed and you're reflecting on what happened to you that day. But as a musician, you're putting those lyrics out there and you're kind of bearing your soul not only in a very public way, but also in a way that translates to so many people, however the message is, perceived by the listener. It's such an important thing. And live music and songs and albums and all the releases, like, just thank you for continuing to do what you're doing, because I don't know how a lot of us would have survived through the pandemic without music, quite honestly.
Yeah, me either. I definitely would not have. So it's good to be, like I mentioned before, it's after sitting inside for a year and wondering if I was ever going to play music again, and I released this record over COVID, which, the unfortunate part about that was I couldn't tour it right away. And
Right.
So it's been these past, I don't know, 6 months or less of getting back on the road in a pretty serious way have been, very healing for me. And it's been, awesome to see so many new people and new fans at shows that like the record. And it's been, just as healing for me as anybody else.
Yes. Well, with that being said, those of you watching, she can't hear your applause right now and your whatever it is you'd like to say, but put it in the comments. I'm sure she'll see it later on, and you can even just do the applause emoji. I think it's kind of a cute concept. It's hard. It's weird thinking there's people watching us right now, Diana.
Yeah, I try not to think about it.
I know. I never go back and watch these. I can't.
But it's good to talk to you.
Yeah. No, and so you grew up in New York?
I grew up in Massachusetts, in
Okay.
a little town in Massachusetts, and my parents were, this is actually a good segue into the next song, my parents are both artists. They're not musicians, they're both visual artists, but they have a real, love for music, and so from a really early age, they always had records on in the house, and CDs at the time on in the car, and it informed my writing and my love for music greatly. And yeah, so I was really lucky to grow up with parents in this kind of little place in Massachusetts that had such a love for the arts.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. I feel like it's so cool when the parents especially have the background in music, because not only are they super supportive, but I mean, sometimes it's they're giving their insight, oh, you should have done this differently. This is how I would have done it, but
yeah, well, there's no, they're good. They're good about it. They're very supportive and usually stick to what they know.
And for those of you that are watching on the East Coast, or those of you that are planning on being on the East Coast in January, you were telling me that you have something coming up on the 3rd, I think you were saying, of January?
Yeah, January 3rd, I'm going to do a show, a kind of intimate show at a place called Pete's Candy Store in New York City. I believe it's a 7 p.m. show, and just it's a really intimate, beautiful space. It's small, and I'm greatly looking forward to it. I spend most of my time opening up for bigger acts, so it's nice to when I'm home, get to play a show of my own. And yeah, so come out if you're in the city.
Heck yeah. All right. Well, we're going to be linking all the socials in which you can find the music and all things Diana DeMuth during today's show. But in the meantime, let's just kick back and sip some wine and jam out to another song by Diana, if you're ready.
Hell yeah.
All right.
I bought a Mercury, painted it black, set out for Canada with the clothes on my back. I'm gonna get me 1,000 miles away, come what may. If you get lost out in the rain, 'cause some fucker changed that signpost to lead you astray. And when all of your failures and all of your fears keep you running through the night time, nothing coming clear, just call on me, lover. Who really needs Nantucket? Flow my tears into a bucket. Fuck it. All the kids from the pavement say we're here to raise a ruckus. Come, let us dance on the tables till the sun comes up now, my skinny love. If you get lost in the howling rain, 'cause some fucker changed that signpost to lead astray. And when all of your failures and all of your fears keep you running through the nighttime, nothing coming clear, just call on me, lover. I'll be right here, lover, under the covers. If you get lost out in the dark and the wolves come a-circling to tear you apart, and when all of your sorrow and all of your fears keep you running through the nighttime, nothing coming clear. Oh, if you get lost in the howling rain, 'cause some fucker changed that signpost to lead you astray. And when all of your failures and all of your fears keep you running through the nighttime, nothing coming clear, just call on me, lover. I'll be right here, lover. Right here, lover.
Thank you, Diana DeMuth, everybody.
But of course.
So that particular song you just heard, everybody, Rose of Nantucket, not only is that a gorgeous song and
Thank you.
just amazing, but there's a visual aspect to the song, a video that was put out, directed by, I want to say, was it a buddy of yours, Nick?
Yes, it was. His name's Nick Bell. He's incredible. He does all the art direction for the Lumineers and me, luckily. And yeah, we flew to Vegas to shoot that. It was originally we had this kind of different, bizarre idea that was too complicated, and we landed on. We had this kind of like conceptual idea of what if we, because the song is about, connection, really needing other people. And we had this sort of idea of getting these kind of beautiful, different black and white portraits of people just walking down the street that we found in Vegas. And as you can imagine, it was an interesting excursion.
Oh, yeah.
But it was, oh yeah, of course. But actually, I think it was my favorite video that I've done and like project I've been a part of. It was just got to meet so many people, so many different types of people, and it ended up like the stringing of it all together ended up feeling, at least to me, very, very powerful.
Yeah. And it like I feel like that video, it just captures just this almost like frozen in time, timeless sort of vibe that I loved, and I felt like it matched the song so well, but it was also unexpected. Like when I listened to the song and then when I watched the video, I wasn't picturing the video to be what was displayed, but I loved it. It was, when like you read a book and then the movie's quite a bit different, but you like having like the difference from what your imagination had going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So speaking of Vegas, so question for you. So let's say there is a movie that you are starring in. You're the lead role in this movie, and it doesn't matter what the movie's about. But let's just say at some point, the climax of the movie, you're with some buddies of yours at a Vegas nightclub, and you're having a great time, and then it starts going to like slow-mo because someone like turns the corner and just instigates something, and then it becomes like the fight scene of the movie with you and your friends and then whoever and their friends.
Sounds like a typical Tuesday night.
Typical Tuesday night. What would you want to kind of capture the essence of that scene with a song?
I mean, honestly, the thing that keeps popping into my head is Eye of the Tiger. I just feel like that's would come on full throttle.
Yes.
An epic fight scene.
Was it, oh my gosh, was it The Hangover that, was it Mike Tyson? Yeah, they stole his tiger in
Yeah,
Vegas.
you're right. That
So-
movie's fucking hilarious.
So, yeah. How many were there? 3?
Yeah. I think they got
my God.
progressively worse, but it's,
Yeah.
the first one is really funny.
Yeah. I mean, any of those movies are good if you're hungover.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're like, oh, I relate with everything that's happening so much
Exactly.
right now.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, I think actually, I think it was the second Hangover. They're like in the, I want to say they're in the Philippines or something. But what's his name? Who was also in The Office? Stewie?
Oh,
Or not Stewie. Steve? What's his name?
No, Andy in The Office, right?
Andy in The Office, but his name starts with an S. It's like Steve in The Hangover. But he got the
Oh,
like
yeah.
Mike Tyson tattoo, and then in real life, Mike Tyson like sued The Hangover.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh my god.
because I guess it's trademarked.
Come on, Mike
or,
Tyson.
Yeah, I know. Like, come on, bro.
Let him live.
Well, to the folks that are tuned in right now, hello. How you doing? Happy first Thirsty Thursday of the last month of the year. If you have a resolution for 2022, let us know, because I think I'm out of ideas at this point.
Do you follow resolutions?
No.
Nobody
but-
does.
Do you have one in mind?
I mean, resolution. Be healthier. I say that every year, and
Me too.
I don't know. I feel like, yeah, I don't really. I try not to put too much pressure on myself. I feel like we've all
Yeah.
just been through a lot, so it's like,
Yeah.
just live your life.
Yeah.
Try not to do too much damage.
Yeah.
That's my
You know?
resolution.
Just do your best.
Just do your best.
That's all you can. That's all you can ask for. Oh man. Well, Diana, what do you say we get into another jam?
Let's do it. This is this is a song I heard on repeat growing up that has stayed in my head ever since.
Right. Cheers.
Cheers.
Hey, little girl, is your daddy home? Did he go and leave you all alone? No, I got a bad desire. Oh, I'm on fire. Tell me now, baby, is he good to you? Did he do to you the things that I do? I could take you higher. Oh, I'm on fire. Sometimes it's like someone took a knife, baby, edgy and dull, cut a 6-inch valley through the middle of my soul. At night I wake up with the sheets soaking wet and a freight train running through the middle of my head. Only you can cool my desire. Oh, I'm on fire. Oh, I'm on fire. Oh, I'm on fire.
Woo! Thank you.
Dude, some good old Bruce. Brucey
Gotta love Bruce.
Now, okay, for you, like, when it comes to covering songs, do you actively try and, like, put your own spin on it? Or is it more just you go with the flow and however you end up covering it is what's meant to be? I don't know if that made sense, but
Yeah, no, I think it depends on the song. Like, I think
Yeah.
every song, if I hear like a song that has really cool lyrics, like the Two Gallant song, but the, you know, I think of like, you know, in my mind, hear it maybe a different way. I think that can be very cool. And then there are things like I'm on Fire that just you can't really mess too much with.
Right.
But yeah, I think it just whatever the song warrants, and it's always kind of a different approach.
Yeah. Now, how about for your OG songs, your originals? Like, do you conceptualize it from the written side of things first and then move into the instrumental after, or does it kind of, is it all over the place? Like sometimes it starts with the melody and then moves into the lyrics. Like how does that really work for you?
It's interesting, actually. I was having a conversation with my friend and producer Simon Felice a couple days ago about this, and every song is different, and he made a really kind of poignant point, which was that like you can just have like 3 words that are an idea, and that can inspire something to become, you know, hopefully great. And I think, you know, a lot of times, like as writing songs myself, like I can put pressure on, you know, finishing an entire song and be a little bit, you know, perfectionistic about it. And I really actually, that was an important conversation for me to have, because I remembered it's like, you know, it's like you're like the other day I was driving home from New York City, and I had this like little kind of idea in my mind, and you save all these little ideas that you can bring to, you know, if you write with other people, which I always kind of bring them to my little tight knit recording family, and we work on things together, and you know, you can bring little bits and pieces, and I think it's beautiful. You know, you hear how other people interpret those and what it might mean to other people, and then kind of like bounce ideas off each other. And I think that has been a way that we have been very kind of successful in making a record. And you know, but it's always different. Or, you know, it could be a chord on the guitar, the piano, it could be a little vocal melody. And I think that that's one of the beautiful things about writing, is it's not the same thing every time. And, you know, you can build an entire song off of something very minute and small but impactful, simple but impactful and powerful. I lost you a little bit. Let's see.
Okay. Is it better now?
Yeah.
It was muted. So last night I was sitting down and I had like tried the guitar and ukulele a couple times over my life. But last night I actually like actively was trying to go through like YouTube tutorials, and I didn't even realize, like with C and G and all the different things you do. First of all, it's painful. I understand the whole concept of like building calluses now, because after like 20 minutes of just trying the different the chords, like my fingers were in so much pain. But I didn't realize, like with guitar, all the different ways that you can make a chord sound, like the ways that you can strum, or if you're using a pick versus not. And it kind of all came full circle for me, and it gave me like more appreciation for you guys, such as yourself and all these musicians that like they do this while singing.
Yeah.
Like what?
I mean, like anything, I think it's practice. I always say, like, I have horrible ADD, so I always like am so surprised that I stuck with guitar when I was, you know, I picked up a guitar when I was like 13 or something, and I always am somewhat shocked that it held my attention the way that it did, because it is a hard instrument to learn, and it's painful at first, and your fingers bleed and your fingers bleed and your fingers bleed, and then eventually you have calluses and so forth. But like, yeah, if I wasn't so enthralled with songwriting and music, I mean, for me it's like I so much of what I love about music is vocal melodies and lyrics. And the guitar, for me, it was like kind of essential to learn it to be able to write myself and, you know, kind of like support the song. And yeah, but it's a lot of work. It's like, yeah, you have to be committed to to wanting to do it and not, very stubborn, which I am also
Yeah.
very stubborn.
Well, it's that Taurus cusp.
I know. It's the Taurus cusp.
My moon sign's Taurus, so I understand the stubbornness. It's a thing.
Interesting. Yeah.
My boyfriend is a Taurus with Aries moon and Taurus rising.
Oh, wow.
So,
So he's stubborn.
Oh, yes. Shout out to you, Jeremy, if you're watching.
Wow.
So I guess before we get into another song, my other question is for you, was it guitar or an instrument, or was it your voice that you found first and kind of like sparked your interest and your desire to keep doing what you're doing?
I think when I was little, I would always run around and be singing and like writing little songs. So probably my voice, although like guitar was the first thing that I like, pursued in any kind of way of like, I wanted a guitar teacher. I was like begging my parents to like, let me have guitar lessons so I could learn it properly. Mm-hmm. And I think that singing has always come more natural to me, and this has been something that I've worked harder at.
Yeah.
But I think I was always like I said, because of my parents, I think like everybody was always singing in the house, and I certainly was always singing and writing little songs. So I guess my voice, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And not related to music, but what's your favorite recipe that you've started doing or like tried for the first time during the pandemic?
Like cooking?
I mean, it could be the sourdough bread trend that everyone hopped on, or like anything in general.
Let's see. I made a lot of like Asian food over lockdown. I was really into stews for a while.
Okay.
The upstate New York winter is very dark and long. So you kind of like, I did get really into cooking these like kind of like hearty Irish meals.
I love it.
Because of that. But like, I was pretty much on a diet of wine and some kind of stew that I would make every night.
The liquid diet all around.
Oh, the liquid diet was in full effect. No, but I'm trying to think like, I tried my, I think that I'm a pretty good cook. I try to be adventurous, and I'm also like an avid lover of any type of Asian food. So, we were getting into some like Thai curries and all that stuff. So
love it.
I didn't have anything else to do. So
do you have a Trader Joe's over where you're at?
No, and it breaks my heart.
Oh God.
It's because when I was living out in California, that was like my TJ's forever.
I mean, like, honestly, if someone were to serve me a frozen Trader Joe's like meal at a restaurant and didn't tell me, I would probably be like, "Hey, can you give my compliments to the chef?" Like, it's so good. Oh,
it really
is. Sad for you.
I know. I try not to harp on it too much, but I bounce into New York City, a fair amount these days, and they, there's a Trader Joe's there, so.
Hey, if you ever need anything sent to you, I got you. I go to Trader Joe's like twice a week.
I used to go to Trader Joe's like twice a day, so it's a hard place. It's like you can't really beat TJ's.
When people say they think it's like expensive, I don't understand.
It's really not.
I don't get it. It's not.
It's not, and it's really good. Food is important.
Really yes, and it's enjoyable to shop there. That's like the important part too.
It is. I like shopping there. I hate parking there. At least the place that I've had some issues in parking lots there, but I mean, come on. It's the best.
Yes, it really is. Thank you to everyone who's tuned in. We're going to get into another song, but drop in the comments if you have a cool recipe that you want to share with us that you've gotten yourself accustomed with over the past however many months or years it's been. I've been cooped up.
Cabin fever.
Cabin fever. All right. Well, pour yourself a glass of wine. Let's kick back and jam out. We got Diana DeMuth, everybody. Thank you.
All the liars and all the thieves have gotten down on their hands and knees, waiting for the arrival of a savior's arms. A stranger from the bar, a stranger in the dark. Say that you love me, won't talk about me behind my back. Say that you won't leave, but no, you can't do that. All the liars on bending knees, wait in line at the guillotine. I've been on trial for breaking mirrors. It's been a while, boy, it's been a while. Say that you love me, won't talk about me behind my back. Say that you won't leave, but no, you can't do that. Been waiting for years just to get out. Lies, lies, liars. I shed so many tears 'cause I could not reach out. Lies, lies, liars. An ocean of tears for crying out loud. Say that you love me, won't talk about me behind my back. Say that you won't leave, but no. Say that you love me, won't talk about me behind my back. Say that you won't leave, but no, you can't do that. You could never do that. You can't do that.
Woo! Thank you.
Thank you.
Diana DeMuth, everybody. Thank you for joining us for today's Jam Happy Hour. And what you just heard is the 5th song on today's Jam Happy Hour set list. And it's the 8th track from the 10 total, I think, on Misadventures.
Correct. You were
Okay.
correct.
So how did you figure out and decide how to kind of sandwich everything together for that album? Like track 1, the intro, which we heard earlier, and the closing track, number 10. How did you figure out what you wanted to start and end with and everything in between?
I think the record just kind of follows there's definitely a story built into it. A lot of it's sonically we tried a lot of different songs against each other, and we had these kind of things in mind, like Hotel Song felt like the right way to open up the record.
Yeah.
And Already Gone felt like the right way to end it.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was like, what kind of tells the story of what's happened in my life between this point and this point.
Right.
Yeah, and I think we followed that, kind of as best we could with the songs, and yeah, just what felt right against each other and sounded like, it's very, some songs just don't sound very good next to each other, and
Right.
and I think it's really cool, a really cool thing and an important thing to an important part of the process to handpick what's going to portray the story of the record in the way that you want it to be portrayed or people to hear.
And let me just say that video that accompanies that song we just heard, it's so cool. I love it's like an entire life cycle of the message you were trying to portray, because you've got you have the lyrics that flash across the screen, and then you have the protests and the tension that's portrayed, but then it also just overall I feel like gives this message of rebirth and just, I don't know, I love it so much. And if anyone out there hasn't seen it and is watching this right now, you gotta go watch it. It's chef's kiss.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that was We made that during lockdown, and we were just like, it's all found footage, and All the Liars is a song very close to my heart. So I'm glad you enjoyed and felt the video.
Yes, absolutely. Now, are you a Halloween or a Christmas person? I'm just gonna rapid fire some questions.
Halloween or Christmas?
Yeah, but you have to pick one.
Christmas.
Why?
I don't know. It just always feels so nostalgic. I mean, Halloween does too a little bit, but Halloween is one of those things that changes pretty drastically as you get older.
Right.
Like Christmas, I don't know. I'm lucky enough that I have a great relationship with my family, and I really love my family.
Yeah.
So it's always nice to be brought back together for a holiday. And I don't know, the winter can be, at times I'm over it, but like something like Christmas and like the winter is just, I don't know. It's so beautiful. It's hard not to like it, I think.
Now, summer or winter?
Summer.
Okay.
I'm going summer.
Yeah. I'm not even gonna ask why, because I would say summer too, and I know why. Longer days, better weather. Sorry, I don't like the rain and snow.
It's tough.
I like the sun.
Yeah, the sun is great. Yeah, I mean that's one of the things that, because I've lived on both coasts, and one of the nice things about living on the East Coast is you go through this kind of long winter, and then when the spring and summer come, it's like, holy shit, it's amazing, because you've just been through this like kind of hibernation. So, I'm looking at the light at the end of the tunnel here and seeing spring.
Yes. I wish we just, like, as a whole, I wish our country would just like stop with the BS that is like 1 hour ahead at, what is it? Spring forward, fall back, like we lose an hour, we gain an hour. Why don't we just not do either of those things, and then we don't have to like, play catch up?
I'd agree with you on that one. No, it's no fun.
Okay, now this is an important question, because I know you are on the Taurus cusp, so that means, such as myself with my Taurus moon, you like to snack, you like your food a certain way. So this is gonna hit home. Would you rather, for the rest of your life, you can only ever eat meals that are like a little bit too salty or like too spicy, or not enough, like bland, but never anything in between? It's one or the other.
I think I'd probably do too salty or too spicy. Bland food makes me depressed. Yes, I also am like a hot sauce connoisseur and a spicy,
Girl,
like really into spicy food. So bland food, nah, I'd rather die.
Oh, I know. My friends and family, they all joke because I will have like a almost empty refrigerator, but what I will always have is like every drawer is full of condiments, like any type of sauce, and then condiment queen, and then anytime a meal is to be had, I am literally like, I've got like my sauce like under my armpit, and then my plate, and then like 8 other bottles already on the table, because I like to switch it up.
Yeah, I travel with hot sauce on tour. Like I bring it into restaurants.
Which one?
Well, it depends.
Exactly.
In the van we have the staples, Tabasco and Sriracha and Frank's.
Yeah. Okay. Frank's
for
yes.
different occasions.
Frank's, like the thinner one that's like the OG Frank's, or like the thicker Buffalo Frank's.
The one that I travel with is the thinner one, but again,
Okay.
There's a time for each.
This
There's
is
a
true.
time for each. There's a time for every
certainly
hot sauce.
is. Oh man.
Yeah,
Now-
the spiciest hot sauce I've ever had that like scalded my mouth was one from Trader Joe's that I got like 5 or 6 years ago. They probably still have it. It was a habanero sauce, and it took me down. And nothing ever really takes me down, but it really took me down. Yeah.
Yes. I will have to send you a little bottle of the yuzu hot sauce. I don't know if you've had it, but it's at Trader Joe's.
Yeah, I have, and it's really good. The yuzu hot sauce. Yeah,
Yes.
it's so good.
Because I'm an Asian food connoisseur, such as you. So.
All right. We're on the same page.
Okay. So, Diana. Hey. Hey. My. Look at the time. How it's flown.
All right.
What do you say? Hey, my.
Let's wrap it up.
All right.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
My, hey. Rock and roll is here to stay. It's better to burn out than to fade away. My, hey. Out of the blue and into the black, they give you this, but you pay for that. And once you're gone, you can never come back. When you're out of the blue and into the black, kid is gone, but he's not forgotten. This is the story of Johnny Rotten. It's better to burn out than it is to rust. The kid is gone, but he's not forgotten. Hey, my. Rock and roll will never die. There's more to the picture than meets the eye. Hey, my. Hey, my. Hey, my.
Woohoo! Thank you, my dear. Oh, my goodness. Well, thank you. Diana DeMuth, everybody. We have had an amazing jam happy hour today. Wow, what a tribute to Neil Young, first of all. Like, awesome cover. Love that. Like, your voice pairs with that song perfectly.
Oh,
and
thank you.
even though you kept that authenticity, that Neil Young authenticity that you got to keep, you still brought like your unique soulfulness, which I think is really cool. So
Oh, cool. Thank you. I appreciate it.
cheers to you. Yeah. And thank you for, tuning in, and I hope to see you on the West Coast sometime in the future, and we've got to have you pour here. So
All right.
we'll,
Hell yeah.
we'll have the wine ready for you.
Yeah. All right. I'll catch you on the West Coast then.
All right, sounds good. And to those of you watching, thank you again, and happy holidays, everybody. And make sure you check out everything Diana, not just today, but heading into 2022, because it sounds like she's got some really awesome stuff in store. So check her out on the socials. Check us out on the links we've posted. And in the meantime, have a great rest of your week, everybody, and catch you next week.
All right.
Cheers.